Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to talk about spot directing. I'm going to teach you how to place overlays and I'm going to teach you how to make children in episode. Let's get started. So first things first, I have my character already here in this background. This background here I got from the art catalog. It's called Beach Tropical Basic Sunset Day. If you can't find any backgrounds that you think may fit your story better, you can definitely tune in and check with Episode Forum. Episode Forum has a bunch of people who makes backgrounds for free or some for commission. And people have Google Drives that you also can check out. So make sure to check out Episode Forum if you can't find it on the art catalog. So back to the story. So I want to spot direct her. I want to back her up a little bit so that way you can see her whole outfit. And I just want her to look smaller because I feel like she looks like a giant here. So the first thing you want to do, usually it will look like this. So you want to click Show Helpers. Click on that and you will see Camera, Spot Directing, Speech Bubbles, and More Helpers. I want to click on Spot Directing. So when you click on Spot Directing, you can be able to move your character all around the space. So then we have a couple things that we want to check here. If you have multiple characters, you will see change characters. So that way you can move multiple characters. You can go back and forth from different characters or, you can spot direct overlays. And I'm going to show you that later. So right now I want to focus on this one right here. It says switch tool scale. And if you click it, it says move. So this is basically, scaling it. And when you click it again, it's moving. So the first thing I want to do, I want to scale her down because she looks gigantic. And when I scale her down to look like a normal human, I'm going to place her, I can place her wherever I want. I can place her here, I can place her here, I can place her here. But I still feel like let's make her a little smaller. I think that looks pretty cool. I think that's cool. So since I want her to be this small, if you want her to stand and be this small, you can. But I want her to enter the scene this size. And I want her to stand there with that size. And I'm going to show you how to make her exit that size. So I know that's a big question, how to make sure, you keep them the same size. I'm going to show you. So now that we got her this size, we can push her back to where you can't see her. You can still see the box, but you can't see her. This is placing her in a different zone, but we still keep her the same spot. You will see this code right here that tells you the spot, the zone, and whatever the case may be, the character and the layer. I want to copy that. And you'll see it says copied. And instead of putting screen center, I want to erase that and paste the code. So what this spot means is that she's the certain size that we put her, and I put her in the spot behind the camera so we can't see her. This will ensure that she is the small size, so she will be able to walk into the scene with the small size she is. I'm going to show you what I mean because I know it sounds very confusing. So again, when you're spot director and you want her to enter or you want your character to enter with the size that they are, make sure when you spot direct, you put them behind where the camera can't see them, so that way they remain the same size. So now that I got her spot directed behind the camera, I want her to enter the camera with the same size that I made her. So I'm going to move her to the spot that I want her to be. And I want to move her right here. So now that I moved her right here, we have another code. I want to click that code again. It's a different code. So I'm going to put a few spaces here. Enter, enter, enter. And I want to paste it here. This code she's still the same size as you can see, but she's just in a different space. I want her to walk to that space. Or if you don't want her to walk, you just want her to be there, you don't have to put the second code. You just put the code wherever you want her to be. But if you want her to walk into the scene as the size you want, this is what you have to do. So then I want to put walks too. If you put walk, it's kind of like they're thinking you're using an animation. We're not using an animation. We're just putting walks. Walks to spot such and such. It is important for you to put a duration, because if you don't put a duration, it's going to go really super fast, unless that's what you want. If you don't want them to go super fast to that spot, make sure you put a set time. I like to use the number 5. It's not too fast, it's not too slow. If you want to go to a little slower, you can put more time. If you want to go to a little faster, you can use less time. But I think 5 is a good number. Also, if you want to use a certain animation while she walks, we could say, and Anna is walk underscore, let's say, sad loop. So what we're doing is we're saying she's walking to the spot in 5 seconds, and while she's walking in 5 seconds, she's walking sad. That is what this code means here. Okay? I hope that makes sense. And make sure you put and. Don't use a comma, use and. It's very important you use and. All right, so now that we have that, let's say after she does that, she is, let's do that. Why not? Why not add a little animation so she's not standing there like a robot? So let's see what this looked like. Save and preview. Let's see if it all works out. The spell check is okay. Did you see what we did there? So we put Anna behind the scene. So she walked in the same size. She walked in 5 seconds and she was walking sad. Okay. I hope that made sense. So now that's how we spot direct. If I wanted her to be smaller, I can obviously make her way smaller. Actually, I moved her. Sorry. You can make her way smaller if you choose to. You can make her way bigger if you choose to. And then spot direct. It's all whatever you want. But that is how you make your character. That is how you spot direct. If you want them in certain spots in your scene. Let's say I want Anna. Let's say I want her way smaller. If I put her further back, I want her way smaller. And then I will put her way back by the waves. If that's where I want her, I will copy that. I will copy this code and I will put it in my script. Okay? That's important. Great. So let's say I want an overlay in this script here. I'm going to show you how to do that. So this is how we can put an overlay in the script. I'm going to show you how to place overlays, and then I'm going to show you how to spot direct the overlays. So we have Anna in this space. And then what we can do is go back to Art Catalog and we can click on overlays. Episode has a couple overlays they have here. You can pick and choose what you would like. In another episode or video, what I can do is show you guys how to create your own overlays. Or if you're looking for a more specific overlay, head over to Episode Forum. You will see a lot of people who may have the overlay that you're looking for. Definitely check out Episode Forum. But anyways, Episode have a variety of different cool overlays that you can check out. So they have campfire, they have cars, they have a bunch of different things here. And let's see what I want to use for the beach. What is appropriate for the beach? Is it Ferris wheel or we have a tree here, we have a pumpkin stand. What do we want to use? Let's say I want to use actually I kind of like that campfire. I think it's real basic and I think we can use that. So this is what the campfire looked like. It's the overlay. And I just copy and paste that into my script. So I'm going to show you now how to place the overlay. So what we want to do first, we do at overlay. And then we paste the overlay's name. And I don't know if I mentioned this before, but you can upload your own overlays. I think I mentioned that. I'm sorry. We've had at campfire create because we're letting episode know that we are creating a new overlay. So then again, we put overlay and then we put campfire. And then what we want to do is opacity 1. This lets us know how visible it's going to be. If you don't put opacity 1, it's going to be invisible. You won't be able to see your overlay. And if you, especially, it's bad if you do want to see your overlay. Make sure you put opacity at 1. So now we got that. It's letting us know we got the campfire created and we have the campfire visible. So let's see what this looks like so far. So what I'm going to do is head back to the beginning, save and preview. So you can preview our story and what that looks like. Chapter saved. So you see her going in sad. So now she's shifted. So now what we want to do, we don't see the campfire overlay anywhere. I know it's going to be like, oh my gosh, where'd it go? What we do is click spot directing, change overlay, and the box hovers over it. And then we have the beautiful campfire here. You just got to drag it. Sometimes it be in different zones. You can just drag it along. And then we click scale. So we can make it smaller or you can make it real large. I think we should put it at a reasonable size. I think this is pretty cool. And what we want to do is put the campfire, let's put it like right here, like they're at a bonfire or something. And I want the campfire to be here. I think it looks good here, and I think that's where I want it to be. So in order for us to let episode know that's where we want the overlay, that's where the overlay has to be, we have to paste the code. So when you move the overlays, no matter how big, how small, no matter what layer, they will give you a code. So what you want to do is copy that code. You will see it up here. And you want to paste that code under here. You will see this is the code that we need in order to tell episode, this is where we want our overlay. This is where the size, this is what the size has to be. This is the scale, all that other stuff. So this is pretty cool, right? Let's see if we did it right. So we don't have to start from the beginning. We can just start right here. Save and preview. Again, it's important to make sure you add overlay, put the overlay name, make sure you press create, and make sure you put the opacity. You see how it just popped up? I'm going to show you how to place the overlay so it don't just pop up like that. You want it to look as natural as possible, right? Because what we said in our code is basically that the overlay is only created after Anna walks to the scene, after she's done doing her animation. We want this to be before all of that, so it looks as natural as possible. I'll show you that so it don't just pop up in the screen and it doesn't look weird. So I just copied this whole thing right here. I copied it and I'm going to delete it. And the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put a couple spaces between it, and then I'm going to press paste. This is letting episode know that I want the overlay created before Anna walks to the scene and before she does all that animation. And also, to make it look even more natural, I'm going to put a transition. So I'm going to put transition fade in black 5. And so basically I'm telling episode that I wanted to transition after I already cut to zone 2, after I already spotted Anna, and after the campfire has been created. This is what I'm telling episode that I'm doing. So this looks pretty good. And also with the transition, again, I think I mentioned it in my previous video, that with the transition, it comes in black, white, or it comes in a variety of colors. Also, you can fade in, you can fade out. And there's a different amount of ways you can do it. So I'm going to show you right here. Okay, so if you go to episode support Zendesk, it will show you all the different colors of that they have, and then it will show you the different type of fake transitions you can do, and then here is all the colors you can do. So I think that's pretty cool that they did that. So again, back to the script. Let's say instead of black, I feel like black is so, everyone does it. Let's do blue. Why not? So I'm telling episode again that I wanted to transition after I got the campfire created, after I cut to zone 2, and after Anna has been spotted. So let's see if I did a good job. Let's press save and preview, and let's see what it looks like. I think it looks pretty cool. All right, so it transitioned, and you notice how the campfire was already there, and now Anna walks in sad, and now she's doing her shifting. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. We did a good job. So now that we created this, I show you how to place the overlays, and I show you how to spot it, and I show you how to spot Anna in your characters. The next thing and the last thing I'm going to show you is how to create children. Okay, so here we are with creating a new character. So I'm going to show you how to create a child. So the first thing we do, we can place, click on anyone you want. I'm going to click Hazel, and we can come up with a name for her. Let's call her, what's a child name? Let's use Macy. Why not? Create and save. And I'm going to show you how to make it look like a child, and we're going to show you all that jazz. It's going to look pretty cool. Okay, so I already kind of got a head start on my character, so I put her on a hairstyle I thought was pretty, kid-like. And then what they now episode have created was like a square youthful. It gave them like a cute little button face. It's super cute. I really think that was something cool that episode did. And I'm just going to finish decorating her. Finish making her look, as kid-like as I can. And then we can continue. All right, so now that I finished creating my character, her name is Macy, and I'm going to have her stand screen center so I can see what she looks like and place her appropriately. So then what else I'm going to do is I'm going to have, and we're going to have Macy faces left. So I want to save and preview this so I can see what she looks like and so I can place her appropriately. And the spell check was okay. Everything looks pretty good, so that's also great. Okay, so now that we have Macy here, she looks like a pretty young girl. I didn't really change her outfit too much. I just, left her the way she is. So what we're going to do is, since I want her to look like a child, I have to make her smaller, just like a child. So now that we have that, I'm going to shift her. I'm going to make her small. And you can make her as small as you want. I think that I'm going to make her a little bit smaller just so she looks like a kid. I'll say she looks about 4. And you notice, I think this is a good time to talk about this. You notice that when I bring Macy back, she's standing behind the fire. That looks pretty weird. So one thing that you can do to help this, if you feel like your character is behind an overlay, you can either press forward or you can press backward. This moves the layers. So she's standing behind the fire. I want her in front of the fire. I'm going to move her forward. I'm going to move her above that overlay just to make her layer at 4, just so she can be in front of that. So I have her here, but I want her to come in running at that same size like a child. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to spot direct her again outside of the camera so that no one sees. So I put her behind the scenes, behind the camera so no one sees her. That is how we get her to come in at the size she are, just like we did with Anna. So now that she's at that spot, I'm going to copy the code. I'm going to get rid of this here. And I'm going to put and Macy, because sometimes episode can be funny where they change the place or the way that a character faces. So I want to make sure I tell episode which direction she's facing. So I'm saying, and Macy faces left. And so that is her spot. So I want to move her to where I want her to end up. I want Macy to end up here. And how we can get her to end up there, we just dragged her right there. And I'm going to copy that code, and I'm going to place it in our script as well. And moved a couple lines, paste. And what we're going to do, I'm going to put walks to And then again, we could put our duration. We could put in, let's say, 5. I want her to run to her because I think that's, like a child act, a child will run to you. And I'm going to say, and Macy is, let's say, run super speed. Let's do that. Run super speed loop. I think that's pretty cool. And then when she makes it there, we're going to put at Macy is, let's see. If we could put her, oh no, you know what? We could put her hands on her hip. Why not? Cool. So now I told episode where she was, and again, we put her behind the camera and we spotted her smaller so that way she stays that way when she's entering the camera. So again, we placed her back here, and then I took that code, and that's the code I put here. And then since I want her to be that same size, but I want her to be in a different space, I just dragged her to the space that I want her in now, and I took that new code and I pasted it here. Okay, so that's how we got those 2 codes. I hope that made sense. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to save and preview. So we can look at the story and see how everything went. So you see how that goes. We created the child and look at what looks beautiful, looks great. I'm gonna do that. So we got the child, we had her run in. So today I showed you how to spot your characters. I showed you how to use an overlay, and then I showed you how to make a child. I hope that you got some type of education out of this. Again, please leave a comment down below if you have any questions. Please subscribe. It will really help me out, and I would really appreciate if you guys subscribe to my channel, share it with your friends or anybody you think would need it. And again, follow me on Instagram. I would greatly appreciate it if you follow me on Instagram. Make sure to DM me if you guys have questions. Make sure to DM me if you guys have any questions. Leave a comment. Watch out for my story, Drag Me to Hell. It's coming soon. And also follow me on episode. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much for watching. See you soon.